fans of 28 different teams, we are already in draft season. And today is a holiday because the man who invented the draft, Mel Kiper Jr., has released his first mock draft. 1.0 is available as we speak. Mel, welcome. It is a delight to have you with us on Get Up. Let's go through the top three picks. Everyone's waiting to see which quarterback goes number one. Mel, who are the top three picks in your mock draft?
Green going number one, Tennessee. I've taken Cam Ward, not because he's my highest rated quarterback. Shedeur Sanders is my QB1 because my friends in the NFL are saying, hey, the live arm, the mobility, the high completion percentage of three different programs. Doesn't throw a lot of interceptions, but he's a little careless, a little reckless with the football in terms of ball security at times. He cleaned that up a little this year. Certainly Cam Ward makes sense of that pick number one for Tennessee. Then you go to pick number two. This is where, again, these two quarterbacks getting forced up just a bit. Who's the best player in this draft? It's Travis Hunter from Colorado. Be it wide receiver, corner, Cleveland needs a dynamic presence at that wide receiver spot. Sprinkle him in at corner. They go Travis Hunter, best player in the draft, over the quarterback in Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders would drop down to that third spot. And I think when you look at number three and you're the New York Giants, people say, hey, Brian Daboll likes mobile quarterbacks. Well, hey, in Baltimore, they had Joe Flacco and then went to Lamar Jackson, won with them both. Why not Shedeur Sanders? He's surgical in the way he goes about his business. He completes a high percentage of his passes. He's a guy certainly super tough in that pocket, great instincts and awareness as well. To minute one and take a minute three, to me, would be okay.
Meaning the quarterback. So let's just deal in Sanders for a minute here, Mel, because I do the all season long. Have been doing the First Draft podcast with you and Field, and I'll be back with you guys again right after the NFL playoffs. I know that you have Shedeur Sanders as number one on your board between the two quarterbacks. What is it you think that will result in Ward going ahead of Shedeur? Because that's what I focus on when you do these mocks.
Right, I think it's the arm strength, a superior arm strength with Cam Ward. He can make all the throws, all those different arm angles that he throws from. Shedeur's old school. He's traditional pocket passer. I love Shedeur, but I think the arm strength and all those angles and the mobility to beat you with his legs, he can do that. Now, Shedeur can roll right, roll left to make accurate throws, but the ability to run, he had 17. Cam Ward did 17 rushing touchdowns over the last 3 years. Remember, he did it at Incarnate Word, did it at Washington State, did it at Miami. I just think arm strength, mobility, edge, when I talk to my friends in the NFL, may give him a slight edge in terms of where he goes in the draft. I'm going to stick with Shedeur. I love old school, the way Brady did his work all through his career. I think Shedeur does. I'm interested to see, Greeny, one thing, and I almost did it. I'll wait till April to do trades. I almost had the Raiders going up from 6-2 to get Shedeur Sanders ahead of the Giants. So I think Tom Brady will see a little bit of himself in Shedeur. We know they have a relationship. I think Shedeur Sanders with the Raiders, by moving up from 6-2, could be something in the cards possibly.
I'm with you. I have a bet with Mel that Shedeur Sanders will wind up going ahead of Travis Hunter. I will owe him an orange crush if I wind up going the way that it is right now in Mel's mock draft. So a lot of people have watched rookie quarterbacks just dominate the league the last couple of years. C.J. Stroud had what might have been the best rookie season ever, and then a year later, Jaden Daniels has what is clearly the best rookie season that any quarterback has ever had. Do you see either of these two prospects, Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders, as able to have that kind of impact that quickly in the NFL?
You're asking an awful lot, Greeny. That's very rare. That's historic. I mean, to have what Dan Marino did with 6 games in, to see what Stroud did last year. Jaden's been, and I've said this all along, all year, I say he's the 5th best quarterback in the NFL right now. I said it a long time ago. He was playing at the 5th best quarterback level. Number 1 is Patrick Mahomes. Number 2 is Lamar Jackson. 3 is Josh Allen. 4 is Joe Burrow. And 5 is Jaden Daniels. He's right now the 5th best quarterback in the NFL. And there's 4 grand slams at quarterback. No more, just 4. Now there's 5 with Jaden Daniels. So 5 grand slams, then a slight drop-off down to the guys that are trying to get into that group or maybe never will be. But to see this kid play at this level, it's rare. So to expect Ward or Sanders to do it, I think expecting way too much.
That's the beauty of Mel, is he will create his own topic all by himself and take it there, and it's better than anything that we had planned all along. All right, Mel, stay close by. We're going to have much more from you as we go. Can I bring this to the desk here? We're having Mel's delay is such that I just want to get a quick thought from these guys here, Cindy, before we go down there and do the receivers. So let's just, if the Giants drafting a quarterback in that spot, do you see that possibility? The conversation will become, can they sit at 3 and take the quarterback, or is someone going to jump them? Do the Giants need to go up to number 2? Does someone else need to go up to number 2? Do the Browns take him at number 2?
Right.
I have said all along, I believe a quarterback will go 1 and a quarterback will go 2 in this draft.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I don't imagine that they'll allow that to happen because it's basic supply and demand. There's a lot of teams that need a quarterback.
Right.
They are going to be willing to pay, and I think the Browns will be willing to move.
Yeah, but why? I mean, if you're the Browns, your quarterback just tore his Achilles again. Why would you get out? You need one too. Like, you better have everybody pay you a king's ransom and figure some other plan out. The 1 in 15's coming back to you. You got to get one.
Don't point to me.
Well, I'm just saying. You know what I mean? I'm just saying back. You know,
Don't
we had
point
18
at me
years of success.
and say 115.
I mean, it's just a little different. But I'm saying, if you're the Browns, I ain't just giving
Damn
you
hands to yourself.
I can give you a very inexpensive option for Cleveland next year with a quarterback who has had success with Kevin Stefanski. He goes by the name of Kirk Cousins. Can he possibly resurrect it there in Cleveland? He could be like a Russell Wilson kind of deal. All his money still getting paid by Atlanta. Watch that happen. Watch the Browns trade out of number 2. Here we go. Time for the catches of the weekend. Receive it. Let's go.
Whoa! Receive it.
Nice catch. This is Hawkins. Caught. Hawkins.
What a spectacular catch.
He guarded 2 people. Come on, man. He's getting yacked. This is my domain. Takes a pancake to the face. He receives it. This degree of difficulty is a 10 and might be the best catch of the entire NFL season.
All right, this feature is called Receive It. Before it begins, Jeff wants to point something out on this photo.
Receive it!
Can you bring it in here a little?
But, hey, look, Hawk is like shocked he got the ball. Hold on. Like, textbook.
You looking into the hands, Jeff.
Okay, you look at it.
Okay.
His new mock draft out. Now, take a look at the rankings here. Mel's got at number 1 Cam Ward going to the Titans. Ward led the country in passing touchdowns this past season and ranked 2nd in passing yards. Number 2, it's Heisman Trophy winner Travis Hunter to the Browns. Now, Travis Hunter, the two-way star, did it all for Colorado, playing 1,458 snaps, over 400 more than any other player this season. And then, at number 3, Mel's got Hunter's teammate Shedeur Sanders going to the Giants. Sanders led the country in completion percentage. Kiper Jr. joining us now. Okay, so Mel, there's been a lot of talk about, is it Sanders, is it Ward at the top? Why do you have Cam Ward going at number 1?
Basically, mock drafts are what you're hearing from your friends in the NFL. I still rate, in terms of my rankings, Shedeur Sanders is my QB1. But for Cam Ward, the arm strength, better than Shedeur. Mobility, ability to move around, extend plays, throw on the move, better. And I think when you look at Cam Ward, he makes sense at the number 1 pick overall because of those talents in 3 different offenses. Remember, Incarnate Word, Washington State, and then this year at Miami. So he's adapted well to the personnel around him. He's had big years. He doesn't throw interceptions. He's got to be less reckless and careless with the football, but his accuracy, his arm strength, his mobility is the reason why he, I think, goes number 1 overall to the Tennessee Titans.
He's been terrific. I mean, either one I think is going to be great. But why do you have the Browns then passing on Shedeur Sanders at 2 to take Travis Hunter?
You're picking 2, but you get the best player in the draft in Travis Hunter, who can play on both sides of the ball early on, cornerback, wide receiver. They need wide receiver, a game breaker, a guy that's a fear factor player there as well. Remember, these quarterbacks are being forced up. The best players in this draft are Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, outside linebacker, Penn State, and Mason Graham, defensive tackle, Michigan. So they're all going to be overdrafted, even Cam Ward at 1. So for Cleveland, I could see the Raiders at 6 moving up to 2 to get Shedeur Sanders, and Cleveland moving back. But I'm not projecting trades until mock 4.0 in April.
Right, we got some time until we get there. Now, the current rookie class has been really successful in terms of a group of quarterbacks. How would you compare Ward and Sanders to those guys?
No comparison at all. Those guys all on my rating scale had 9-8 grades. You know, Cam Ward, Shedeur. Right now, Shedeur is at 9.2. Cam Ward's at 9.2. But I gave Shedeur's a slight edge. So big difference between a 9.8 and a 9.2 on that quarterback's rating board historically. So they were elite. They were some of the best quarterbacks really of all time in terms of grades. At 9.8 rating, I had a 9.9 for select guys. 9.8s are reserved for the guys that can be spectacular. We thought Caleb Jaden and Drake would be and could be. I don't see that for these guys right now. Certainly, they're going to get forced up. They're going to get overdrafted because quarterback's the most important position in all sports. But for me, they don't deserve to go that high based on grade, but they will go that high based on supply and demand. Everybody, there's a great demand for quarterbacks, very little supply this year, and there's only 2 quarterbacks going in the first round right now, in my opinion, Ward and Sanders. Then there's a little bit of a drop-off to see if Jackson Dart from Ole Miss or Kyle McCord from Syracuse or a Will Howard from Ohio State or a Jalen Milroe from Alabama. They're right now vying for that QB3 spot, but only 2 quarterbacks in round 1, both up near the top of the draft.
Supply and demand alone, it always feels like every year we say it might, especially if on years where we think there might not be a lot, some always sneak into that first round, as you know, Mel. All right, folks, you can read Mel's entire mock draft on ESPN Plus, just out. And by the way, catch the Sports Center special, Mel Kiper's NFL mock draft 1.0.
They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people would think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
3rd and long, it's Smith escaping the pressure right. Slings this deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington.
A pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
And a productive gain out to the 14 after starting at the 7. It's a gain of 7. 7 yards the pick up there. 3 yards remain for 2nd down. Fitzpatrick now. Slings this deep from McLaurin. It got his man complete. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And from where we sit, if you had told me that that ball was somehow going to get from point A to point B, I would have told you no way. I mean, that was an absolute cannon shot, and he still dropped it right on the money, too.
And that ball traveling 68 yards in the air, according to Next.